Palmer will kick off again for Tech. And we've got Lane and Jackson deep. Teron Jackson's 57-yard kickoff return after Tech's field goal got the Dogs in position to go on down and tie it up. Tech's had 2 drives of 50 yards or a shade better. Got a field goal and a touchdown out of it. The Dogs have 2 field goals. The last one really in the middle of confusion, though the officials had already blown it a couple plays before that by not stopping the clock to move the first down markers down the field. 10-6. Tech leads by 4. And Palmer's kick bouncing and taken by a lineman on the 27-yard line on the kick returning team out to the 36 or 37-yard line. Brown, I think Mike Brown, a substitute rover, caught it on a bounce.
Number 49, Mike Brown.
And they'll mark it on the 36.
Well, that low skidding type kick worked for Tech earlier, but that time it backfired as Georgia has decent field position with the ball on the 36-yard line.
That's the same guy who wanted to pick it up the other time they did it, Phil. A shot right by his shoes as he was about to reach down. He didn't get the bounce like he did this time. Dogs in their own 36, and they pitch it to Worley. Worley comes off the tackle to the 40, the 45, the 47. Got a first down. Had a big hole at the left tackle over there. I saw Henderson throw a block on the corner. Jim Anderson, the linebacker from behind. Anthony Harris, a safety man, knocked him down. But Worley got 11 to the 47 and a first down. You remember the opening minutes. The Dogs couldn't do anything at the line of scrimmage. Blocked much better late in the first quarter and throughout the second quarter. They got a slot left. They're in an eye. Tech's in a 6 now, and they go to Henderson, and he's pushing people for 6, 7, 8, 9 yards. He's fighting. He got maybe a first down to the Tech 42. He was shoving people and trying to lean to the left, and Anderson, the inside linebacker, and Harrison, the free safety, again got him. And on the play, he went from his own 47 and wound up on the Tech 42. He got 11 yards. Loran?
Larry, I was just going to tell you about Worley. He has a hurt toe, but on that run a moment ago, it didn't look like it bothered him all. But he does have a little toe problem from the injury early in the half.
McCluskey and Tate are now the backs. And McCluskey bangs just inside right tackle. Had a small hole and leaned in. I think he got 3. I don't think he got 4. Pat Swelling, that big fine defensive left end, and Anderson, the inside linebacker, hit him. They put it on the 38, and McCluskey got 4.
Well, maybe while Georgia Tech was looking at the Georgia secondary, Georgia has looked at the Tech linebackers, because since Ted Roof has gone out, Georgia has had some efficiency running up the middle.
Jackson now is going to pitch it to Tate, and he came a hole at the tackle and leaped in there and went down around the 34 and a half. Got about 3 and a half, not 4. Pounds they're over, and Travis, the right cornerback, hit him. And they put it on the 34 and a half. Let's just give him 3 and call it 3rd down and 3. Dogs sitting out here on the Tech 35. Remember, the field goal kicker is gone.
Just got a call from Marietta. They heard the PA man out there.
Oh, boy, can you hear the PA? There's an eye. Slot right, wide out left, man in motion off to the left. Tate's got a little hole, driving over the 30 from behind. They pull his shoes down around the 27. Tate had a hole. They're really opening holes just outside the Tech tackle that time. And the gain was 7 or 8 yards. Cleve Pounds, they're over, had to hit him. Dogs are grinding it out on the ground. 10-6, Tech leads. 12:57 here in the third quarter. Dogs have come down a little bit inside the 27, maybe the length of the football. Henderson's come back in at the full. Tate stays at the tail. They go to Henderson. He got hit right there and no movement whatsoever. Boy, he couldn't twist or do anything. I think when he came in, Tech decided we were going to run that little fullback trap thing, one variation of it or another, and they gave him at the very most a yard. They're still wiping the ball. Keep in mind the turf is still wet, though it hasn't rained in many hours. Well, it's 2nd down, 9 and a half.
The whole complexion has changed, though, because the Georgia offensive line is playing much better. They're really firing off the ball, and it's a different situation now.
An eye and 3 wideouts. Tate needed a block. He got around a corner. He bounced off a man and got hit around the 20, and the ball, I think, was going out of bounds when he did. And it's up around the first down marker where it went out. Glenn Spencer, the tackle from behind, yanking him down, and it is very close to the 17. And the officials will not measure. I think it's going to be now inches on third down. It's just outside the 17 as the Dogs come up to the line. The front nose touching the 17. Third down and inches. Wide out left, two men wide right. And they go to Henderson, who bangs, and they hit him awfully hard as he came across the 15. He got 2 tough yards, but a big first down. Loran, what do you got?
Just a moment ago, Tate fumbled forward for about a 4-yard gain, Larry. You need that kind of break in a drive like this, but it's better to hold on the football.
Tate broke the long run, you remember, in the second quarter. And that particular fumble, when they stripped it from behind on him, rolled about 15 yards ahead of him. Dogs are on a Tech 15, trying to get a lead back, and they go to Tate, and Tate's got 5, 10, touchdown, Tate! Boy, they opened a hole in the middle of that line, and Tate just galloped 15 yards right up the middle. And the Dogs lead for the first time tonight, 12-10. It may not mean anything. It's going to be one of those nights, and I think you know that. Davis Jacobs, the walk-on kicker from Waycross, will try to do it again. He gets the field goal on the disputed last play of the half, you remember? It's set down, and he sticks it up in there. It's all right, good, and pretty good strength. The kick is good. Dogs lead 13-10. Timeout
in the first quarter. Georgia has come out in the third quarter and ripped off 64 yards. They punched holes in that Tech defensive line. They began it with an 11-yard run, another 11-yard run. They've capped it with a 15-yard run, and now we run down to Loran Smith.
Well, I tell you, there was some blocking. You guys can see the holes probably better than I can, but I could hear and feel the licks on this sideline. Georgia really did a good job of that offensive line on that drive, and that's what you need and what you want. And now, the defense is giving the ball back. They'll see if they can do more.
Davis Jacobs, the kid from Waycross, again kicks off. Very high, end over end, around the same place, around the 7-yard line this time. Gary Lee with blocking to the 15, just inside the 20 where he got hit. He tried to squirt ahead to the 20. Will Jones on the kick covering team was the first guy that hit him.
Ball got up in the fog that time, Larry.
Yeah, look at the fog now. It's coming from downtown Atlanta. It's just settling in real heavy at the moment. That's the second time it's come in this heavy.
Ball was dripping as it landed in the receiver's hands.
Tech's on their own 19 where it's put down. Throw set. And Dewberry is coming back to throw. Fires to a back over in the left side, complete, and they hit him on the 22. Corey Collier over in the left flat, and John Littler overdove and hit him there. Moss was coming up on the play. Chubb, who's limping a little, a defensive freshman end, was up there trying to help. We may have had a penalty on the play. I think we have. There is a discussion, and they are acting like we got a penalty, a motion penalty on Tech. Look at the fog come down on the field.
Tech, Larry, has thrown on first down in their last 3 possessions.
Ball goes back to the 14. Tech becomes first and 15. 13-10, Georgia leads. They just made a long drive coming down, almost all of it between the tackles. Tech comes up to the line of scrimmage. Dewberry has Malcolm King as a single back now with 3 wideouts left side, and now the short wideout, the running back, goes in motion to the right side, and Dewberry's back to throw. And he throws a little screen, and they hit him on the 6 and drive him back, and that's Malcolm King. John Littler over was reading it right. They dumped it out on the flat, the screen that they worked in the first half, and he got hit right where he took it behind the line. 7 or 8 yards. Let's see where they're going to put it. They're going to put it on a 6. That's an 8-yard loss on a completed screen. Gary Moss, one of the defenders, waving at the dog crowd, asking for more cheers. 13-10, Georgia leading, 10:43 to go in the third quarter. Tech back now on its own 6-yard line, second down, and better than 20, 23-24 to go. One back again, 3 wideouts, a close wideout in motion. Dewberry going to run. He comes off to the right side. One man dove and missed. The second hit him, but from behind he got it up to the 15.
Number 11, John
Bill Mitchell got his shoes. Tony Flack had to really bring him down. Dewberry intended to run a quarterback, not a draw straight ahead, but he was going to run from the very first and veered right as he ran. And he got 9 yards to the 15, and it'll be third down. 3rd and 14. 13-10, Georgia leading 10:05. They changed the King out of the full, and Nate Kelsey, a young freshman who we didn't expect to see tonight, who played well in the first half for Tech, is back in at the tailback again. Dogs come up in a 4. Defensive end Ruff up close to the line. Dewberry wants to throw again. Going with a long bomb. He overthrew everybody and threw it in the Georgia bench up around the 43 or 4, intended for Gary Lee. And Tech will be 4th down and have to punt. Look at that fog settling down over there by the Georgia bench in front of the stands on that east side. It's worse over there, I think, than it is here. There seems to be a movement of wind with it. Tech in a kicking situation. Mike Snow.
Mike Snow is at one.
He's had one good one, 49 yards tonight, and one relatively short at 37. Dogs almost jumped offside at left end, but had plenty of time to get back. They have 8 men on the line. Tech takes that long count. Snap a little high, but he got the kickoff very high, very short. They better walk away from the catch. Yes, they do, and it bounces out of bounds around the Tech 45. Very high, short, poor kick, only 29 yards. Timeout. Tech's put themselves in a hole here.
Dogs got it on the 29, and Tate just ran a hole at left guard and fought his way in, got 6 down to the 23, just outside the 23. 2nd down, about 4. And little Jackson keeps, and somebody crashed and hit him behind the line, and he barely kept possession of the ball on the 25. Going to run an option out, and they came blowing up. Well, as Crockett, one of the linebackers, Big Pat Swilling was there. Jackson up slow. Is it his arm? Took a loss on the play. A couple of yards to the 25. Archie and Osborne split to the left. The Dogs are now 3rd down and 6. The short punt and the penalty really gave them a shot to go to work. They're down close, but it's 3rd down now. Fake a trap. Jackson throwing, nobody there down the middle. Osborne trying to come across, and he threw it 5-6 yards away, and they missed it. He was covered, though the coverage was definitely behind him, but very tight with him. Let's pause 10 seconds here for station identification.
University of Georgia football is brought to you by Mitchell Motors, Cofer Brothers Building Supplies, Stereo Village, and Hardee's on WSB Atlanta, the sports voice of the South.
Attempting the field goal for Georgia.
Dogs will try and go what for them might be a long field goal. Crumley's gone. Davis Jacobs trying the longest one of his life in college now. Kid from Waycross. Ball being held in the 31 and a half. And Jacobs sticks it up. It's going to be a little close. It hit the crossbar, no good. It hit the crossbar, no good. Crumley kicked one tonight that barely got over by a few inches, and then he collapsed and was gone. But Jacobs has hit one here. He hit the crossbar, didn't hit it right. And Tech has stopped the drive. Timeout, 60-second local break.
Georgia Tech has the football. Georgia has a lead 13-10. However, Georgia had a 1st and 10 on the Tech 29-yard line and unable to come up with anything as Georgia Tech comes up to the line of scrimmage.
Tech stiffened up tough there. The Dogs missed the pass pattern perhaps on that series of downs. It didn't cost Tech anything, the short punt and the penalty. They go to the tailback. Collier coming out, and the defense mobs him a yard and a half maybe. Started right corner, though not a wide sweep, and cut in and went down. Well, they're just now picking up. Greg Waters is on the bottom of the pile. Henry Williams was there. They may put it down to 26. That's what they'll do. It's 2nd and 9. Loran?
A lot of disappointment in not getting something out of that drive that started at Tech 30 by the Georgia players. But that's what Tech does on defense. They give you a lot of bad plays. So there's a lot of football left in this game, Larry.
Tech 3 wideouts with the short slot man going in motion, and Dewberry going to pass on 2nd and 9. A lot of time. Throws it out on the right flat. Complete behind the line, and Harris hit him and dove, and they slid out of bounds around the 26. Billy Mitchell and Henry Harris coming across. Dumped it out on the flat a few yards behind the line, and let's call it no gain. He gained inches, 4 or 5. It'll be 3rd down and 9, 13-10, Georgia leading. Started his 3rd quarter with a tremendous eat-em-up yardage drive, all on the ground.
Dewberry is 6 for 10, Larry.
Tech just across their own 26, 3rd down, about 9. Man in motion. Dewberry back again. And he's going to throw a long bomb down the middle with nobody there. No, a little off to the left side. He was 15 yards away from anybody.
That pass was intended for number 33.
Dogs hit the quarterback just after he got rid of the ball. Greg Waters was there. Calvin Ruff was there. I don't know who else. Tech's going to be 4th and 9, and they'll have to kick. Now, the last time they kicked it very high and way too short, and then they committed another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty and got themselves in a bad hole, but the Dogs could not do it. Mike Snow to punt. Georgia's acted like they wanted to get one of those punts all night long, and they got Brown lined up on this one corner, Mike Brown on the right side, and he's trying to get in. He can't. The kick is up very high. Fair catch around the Dog 28 or so. Little is there waiting for a high, good spiral by Mike Snow, and Georgia will put it in play. Missed a great opportunity. Now a 45-yard punt has them deep in their own territory. Dogs leading 13-10, 6:58. The fog is lifted here. We have known for a long time it would not rain. Check the backs. Payne tells me Worley and Henderson are now the backs. Jackson is still a quarterback. Lane and Archie are split out. Little Jackson coming back. Throws a side screen over there to Worley. Can't get a block. They run him out. Oh, they're not one of those guys holding the chains down very hard. Cleve pounds their over there. Let's see how much they gain on the pass. 2 or 3, but they haven't put the chain markers back up yet. They really wiped that one guy out. The gain was only a yard, 2nd and 9. Ball on the 29. They barely got a yard. Georgia 2nd down, a full yard. 3 wideouts, 2 to the right and 1 to the left in the eye. They go to the fullback, and Henderson broke out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 down to around the Tech 43.
On the carry for Georgia, number 30, Keith Henderson.
Henderson from the 30, got 25. Where did the knee hit the ground? Crockett, one of the linebackers, got him from behind down on the Tech 44. Keith Henderson of Cartersville broke it up the middle. They had 3 wideouts on the play. Dogs up to the line. Tech in a 4-3, not quite a 4-4, almost that way. They go to the tail. Worley's got 5, 10, and he slipped in the water on a wet turf and went down on the 30. Crockett, the linebacker, had bumped him, but his feet went out. Worley exploded up the middle, slipped on the wet turf. But he got 14 yards and went to the 30, and the Dogs are driving again. Now McCluskey and Tate come in. Worley and Henderson go out at the backs. Georgia's driven down to the 30. They lead 13-10. Not real late in the third quarter yet, 6 minutes. They go to McCluskey, who drives at the left guard and pushed, I think, about 4. I said water before when he slipped. There is no water that I really see. He just slipped on the wet turf. And there is a fair amount of ice or something out in front of the Tech bench or whatever that is. May have been off the band. Game was 4-26. Henderson has come back in at the full. It's 2nd down and 6. Will Tech expect Henderson to try and run that trap again? And they go to the full, and he's going to go in the middle about 3. Henderson moved from the 26. Remember now, we just missed a relatively short field goal. Not extremely short. It hit the bar. But remember, Crumley went down early. Swilling the big end and Parker at the tackle. And the play before, Sunderbury and White, the linebackers, have been on the stop. Georgia's just inside the Georgia Tech 23, 3rd down and 2.5. About 2.5. Then they're going to pitch it to the tail. No room. Tate's trying to get out. Can't quite get to the corner. He's around the 21 or so. He got around to the corner, didn't have enough room to turn, though it may have been wet for that. Travis, the corner, Crockett, the linebacker, Ingham, the free safety, hit him. Will the Dogs again try a field goal, even though the kicker is gone? They had one from this spot a few minutes ago, and it hit the bar and bounced off no good. It's 4th down, 2.5. There was no gain in the play. Tech is holding in the same spot of the field as before. 60-second local timeout here on the Georgia Bulldog Network.
Stereo Village presents their incredible after Thanksgiving clearance sale. It's going on now with over 500 home electronics items drastically reduced. Stereo Village offers no payments until 1986 on TVs, VCRs, home and car stereo, microwaves, satellite dishes, and more. Don't miss this fantastic after Thanksgiving clearance sale going on now. You'll find the lowest prices ever at Stereo Village. See our ad in Thursday's paper for more details.
Delta Airlines makes over 1,500 touchdowns every day with service to more than 100 cities in the U.S. and overseas. So whether you're flying to watch your favorite team score touchdowns or for any other reason, see your travel agent or call Delta. After all, when you live in an area with the best college football, why not fly the best airline? Delta.
Georgia has moved the ball up and down the field here in the third quarter, but they have only been able to come up thus far with a touchdown from Tate, and that's it, the 7 points. They missed a 41-yard field goal, and now Davis Jacobs is going to kick from almost the same spot. He hit the crossbar before, but they moved him in 2 yards closer, and let's see if that makes a difference.
About 2.5 yards closer. Tech trying to bother him. Jumping up and down and hollering a little. Carpenter going to hold, and the walk-on kicker will try it again. And he puts it up. Now that's got high and power, and I think he got it. He did. And Jacobs, the walk-on kicker, trying to fill in for Crumley, stuck it up in there, and the Dogs lead 16-10. Timeout again, 30-second. Larry Munson, Phil Schaefer, and Loran Smith. Hugh Christian and Rick Shaw, Dick Payne, Louis Phillips. At times the fog is heavy, at times it's just a little foggy. 16-10. Tell you one thing, Davis Jacobs been in school a couple of years and hasn't used his leg. Boy, he'll rest that leg tonight. Dogs with a 6-point lead.
Well, he kicked the daylights out of that one.
Yeah, got that one up there good. Get out of Waycross. Getting ready to kick off again. Which he did at the start of the game because we knew Crumley couldn't kick deep. Jacobs hits it about the same place again, the vicinity of the 5. Yeah, on the 5, Gary Lee up the right side. And they open it up for him, the 25, the 30, the 35. He's across the 50. He's gone. The kicker fell down in the wet turf. Touchdown.
Larry, here's what happened. He took the ball on the 5. Every time they brought it back to the left side. Every time. Again, they formed that wedge as if it was going to come toward the left side. And Georgia went over. They went with the flow. He cut back to the right. Had a clear sailing down the right side. And the kicker fell down as he got to him. And then it was it. 95 yards.
He slipped on the wet turf around the 45. The only man that had a chance to stop it. Lee has gone 95 yards. The hole opened very quick over on the right. 16-16 tie. Tech will take the lead here with David Bell. Or by law of averages they will. They set it down. The kick is up very high and good. And Tech takes the lead back 17-16 on Lee's long run. Timeout again. 60-second local break on the behind deep. And Tron Jackson will down it in the end zone because it had a lot of height on it. And he knew as he and Lane bumped each other a step or so in the end zone that ball took a time coming down, and he didn't feel he could get the return going. So Georgia this time will put it in play on the 20.
That kickoff return took 9 seconds according to the scoreboard clock here. And again, it was set up beautifully by Tech, as every time on the return they had brought it back from the right side of the field to the left, and that time they faked as if they were going to do that and zoomed right down the right side. It was wide open.
Now Tech really fired up the Dogs in the 23 wide outs. They go to the tail. Tate runs over a man and gets 6 to the 26. They're opening holes right in the middle of that Tech line. Tech leads 17-16. Loran.
Larry, Georgia had taken control of the football game there for a few minutes. Looked like they had the momentum, upper hand, but then the kickoff return situation like that inspires the defense. Georgia's got to keep moving the football now and get good field position for the fourth quarter.
The gain was not quite 6, and they go to The fullback Henderson at right tackle, just inside the tackle, and he only got about 1.5 yards to the 27. It's going to be 3rd and 3. Jim Anderson, the linebacker, hit him. Dogs going to be on their own 27, 3rd and 3. We've had one field goal attempt hit the bar tonight. We've had another one barely get over. And I mentioned earlier many times, I guess, we're patched up a little bit, but it's a 17-16 thing, and you don't want to miss this. 2 wideouts very wide left, 1 short on the right. James Jackson looking at a 5-man line that's acting awfully eager with him. Took a long count. Went to the fullback. Henderson to the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 49. They ran the trap again, and Henderson exploded from the 27 up to where his knee at the ground, the 48 for 21 yards. Ricardo Ingram, the safety, got him. Sure. Phil, how much yardage do we have on the ground now? We're trying to make a 3rd drive.
They're punching holes in that Tech defensive line to the tune of 275 yards. They have 17 yards passing. They are really doing a job in the offensive line now.
2 wideouts, 2 running backs, and Jackson sneaks out, comes across the 50, the 49, 46, 45, and a man grabs him by the shirt and spins him out around the 43. Little Jackson came out. We have a man hurt out on our own 46.
And we got Jackson being helped up, too.
He's coming off the Tech bench, just worried about his shirt, but who is the man down is what I'm worried about. 30. Henderson, the fullback. Henderson is down, and the gain by Jackson went to the inside the Tech 44. The gain was a solid 8. It's 2nd down. In fact, it's about 1.5 yards, but Henderson is down and unable to get up. And he has had himself quite a night. Now they're helping him to his feet, but I imagine he may be gone. He cannot move his feet or legs at all. Ankle. And another starter goes off the field. What a year it's been for this, I tell you. Freddie Lane coming in with 2nd down, 1.5 yards. Osborne comes out. Henderson's gone, and he was having himself a tremendous night at fullback. That really hurts.
He had run the ball 12 times for 85 yards.
2:49 in the 3rd quarter, 17-16. Now McCluskey in at full. He'll have to stay there. Dogs inside the Tech 44. We had been driving again when that happened. And they go to McCluskey. He got hit at the tackle. They knocked him down. He didn't get the 1.5 yards. He pushed into one of his own blockers and could not lean and cut back inside. And barely got 0.5 yard. Jim Anderson hit him. It might be 3rd down now and about 1 yard. If it is, it's a short yard. He got 0.5 yard, 3rd down, and barely 1 yard. Georgia inside the Tech 43. 17-16 Tech. 3 wideouts, 2 left, 1 to the right. Tech's up there in a 6, and Tate bursts through, and they rack him on the 39.5, but he got a 1st down. Tate's running awfully hard tonight. He got 3 yards when they had to have him. Hit by Cleve Pounds are over. Tech lost Ted Roof, their starting linebacker, about the middle of the 2nd quarter. I don't know if he tried to play a little in this 3rd quarter. Yes, he did. Then he went out again. They got a 1st down on the 40. They barely got about 2.5 on that play. He had a little hole in there. They're in an eye, and he fakes a pitch. He wants to bootleg and pass. He's in trouble on the 50. Now Little Jackson in trouble. Fires to the sideline out of bounds on the 29. Intended for Sadowski.
There's a flag down, and it was down in the vicinity where Sadowski and the defensive back were. However, Jackson did the smart thing to get rid of the ball because he started off as if it was going to be a naked reverse. Rolled around to the right side. He was in trouble and had no place to throw the ball. And now what do we got? A penalty against Georgia.
Again, offensive interference on the Dogs. Been a lot of penalties tonight and a lot of adversity, but it's still a very, very tight game. 17-16, Tech leads.
Well, at halftime, Dan McGill talked about bad blood in this series, which goes back over
15 yards.
Many, many years, and we've had some of that tonight. Not particularly on this play, however.
Lost it down, and now it's 2nd and 25. We really have been looking at penalties tonight. They've really made some mistakes. But you got to play with what you got. McCluskey and Tate, Little Jackson, the quarterback. Tech's in sort of a 4-2 now, figuring with 3 wideouts we're going to throw. Jackson coming around. They can't block the end. He's in trouble. He fires incomplete in the middle.
Now they got a flag. Fred Lane was held up.
Check the call. There's a flag back here. Flag is down in the secondary, the Tech secondary in the 41. Not back by the field.
Fred Lane was coming across the middle, running from right to left, and he kind of got knocked around like he was being knocked off a pool table, and the penalty is a hold on Georgia Tech as a call.
A defensive hold.
Holding is called against Tech.
Now let's see where they're going to put it. Is that a deep one? Well, it's 10 yards, and the Dogs come back to the 45. And they still got long yardage, though. 2nd and 15. And Henderson's been hurt, and he's gone. Loran?
I just wanted to give you an update on Henderson. It is a sprained ankle, Larry, but it's not as bad as he first thought. Now, whether he can go back or not, we don't know. It doesn't look like he can go back, but he's a guy with a lot of fierce determination, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Georgia by 1 foot inside the Tech 45, 2nd down. And they run to the tail and take him out over the 40, and they smacked him on the 39. With the last few minutes, that's where we lined up before. Only 90 seconds left now in the quarter. Ricardo Ingram of Douglas, the guy that hit him.
Ricardo Ingram.
And Tate got 6 to the 39. It's now 3rd and 9, a big play. Now, we have not been able to throw tonight. Let's see. Tech figures they'll throw. Tech's in a 4-2 again. The linebackers pull back. And Little Jackson fakes to Tate in the middle on play action, looking. And decides to go down the middle and overthrew everybody. And there was 3 defenders on Osborne anyway in the vicinity of the 10. So the passing attack cannot work again, and they'll have to get rid of it again. Well, we keep getting drives going. We eat up some yards, and we bog down in the same place every time.
Jackson throwing the incompleted pass, and a very dangerous pass at that. He is now 3 for 7 for 17 yards.
17 to 16. Tech leading. Carpenter going to kick. Tech wants to set up a return, though they really figure we're probably going to try to pooch it to the corner. Carpenter standing on his own 47 or so. The snap's all right, and they don't really rush it. One man did from the side. Kicked it very high up in the fog. And a Tech guy took a dangerous fair catch. So that's Walden around the 12. He caught it, and Tech will put it in play there. Dogs have used up a lot of time and a lot of yardage in this 3rd quarter. Had the lead for a while, then gave up a long kickoff return and lost it. 17-16. We may have lost a very, very big piece of the offense when Henderson went down. Davis Jacobs really battling to take Crumley's place as a kicker when he went down. Here's Tech now. They got it on their own 12, just inside. They got 2 tight ends in. They act like they're going to really run it. They will. They'll go to the tail. Somebody from behind crashed and grabbed him. And Jake Richardson got Corey Collier the tail. They started to run a power shot at our right tackle or their left side. And they will mark it where? On the 11, a yard behind the line, and it's 2nd down and 11. Tech leads 17 to 16 on Gary Lee's 95-yard kickoff return. Very, very late now. You got 25 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Now they're in an eye with 1 wide out. They still have 2 tight ends. Dogs come up in a 6. Dewberry fakes. He's got a blocker, and he's running wide around to the right side. Throws on the run, complete on the 25 for a 1st down. They hit him right away. Robert Massey, one of the tight ends, a big sophomore. And the play was about 14 yards, I think. 13 to 14. 13 up to the 24 and a 1st down, and the quarter may run out. Let's see. 17 to 16, and the clock running. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Tech leads by 1. Timeout.
17, Georgia 16. Total yardage, Georgia 312. Georgia Tech 154. Georgia has 295 yards rushing, 17 passing. Georgia Tech has 95 rushing, 59 passing. So Georgia has almost twice as much yardage, Larry, as Georgia Tech. Let's go down to Loran.
Well, an update on Keith Henderson. They have wrapped his ankle. Now they're wrapping the shoe, the outside of his shoe, and his sock ankle. Looks like he may try to go back. Now, there's no swelling, and doesn't really bother him when he tries to twist and turn. He may get back in there and do some good in that offense. Georgia needs him.
Well, thus far he's rushed for 85 yards, 85 of Georgia's 295 on the ground. And while Georgia has 312 yards to 154 for Georgia Tech, one thing we did not give you was kickoff return yardage, and that's the difference in the ball game right now, especially Lee's 95-yard kickoff return.
And Tron had a 57-yarder for us in the first half that helped set things up. Well, you got 1 quarter left. The emotion, the intensity is still there. Dogs looked like they had just taken over the line of scrimmage in the third quarter. Boy, did we bog down often in the vicinity of, well, between the 30 and the 40 somewhere. Tech, of course, can come in close and play the run tougher and tougher. Attendance listed tonight, 59,206. All right, Tech comes up to the line. George is in a real tight, man, almost a 6-3 there, and so tight. Now they spread out with a man in motion. Tech goes to the tail, and they hit him. Got a yard. Corey Collier going off to the weak side at right tackle. Ruff hit him, and Henry Williams. What Tech's doing, they're trying to run the ball right back at us at the moment, though I'm sure they'll throw it at any second, which they did about 2 minutes ago before that quarter ended, remember. No gain, second down on the 24. They act like they're trying to run it at us.
Yeah, Collier's now run it 14 times for 37 yards.
Tech slot left, 2 running backs to open up that pack dog defense, which at the moment's in a 4-3. Dewberry looking, going to try to run a quarterback draw, and he broke off to the 25 and slipped on the wet turf and went down to the 30. He may have tried to go down purposely, but I'm not sure. He kind of threw his legs out and went down to the 30. And he may have slipped on that wet turf, but he got 6. He wanted to run straight ahead and couldn't. He looked to the right, saw the hole at the tackle, and for the second time tonight, he ran a quarterback draw veering to one side. Third down, Tech is 3rd and 4.5. And they lead 17-16 on that 95-yard kickoff return by Gary Lee. This has been some kind of a night. We're in an eye with 2 wideouts. Dogs are in a 6-2. They crash in. One man missed Dewberry. One man got him from behind around the 22. Brentley got him. Somebody blitzed and barely missed him.
Well, Dewberry got punished on that one, and he comes off limping a little bit as he got hit high and low.
The loss takes it back to the 22. It is now to the 27, rather. It's now 4th down and about 6.5. So Snow will kick. Dogs have done John Little as a safety man. Moss and Greg Williams up in front of him, about 15 yards or so, 15, 16 yards. Tech takes a long time to get the snap. Still a long time, and now the snap is good, and the kick very high, great kick, up in the fog, and John Little fair catch around the 36 or 7. And Georgia will try to put it to work there. Timeout here, 60-second network break.
Georgia will start on their own 36-yard line as the fog again is coming in over Grant Field. However, it hasn't settled down. It's kind of staying high at this point. Georgia with pretty good field position, and 12:55 left to go in the game.
Trailing by 1. They're on their own 37.5. Henderson is back on the field and in the lineup with a slot left. And Jackson rolls out, got in trouble, and decides to run back the other way across the 33. Still in trouble, needs a block, got to the corner, going to get a couple, 2-3 yards and go out of bounds around the 40. Boy, did he get in trouble. Henderson threw a block for him out in the left corner. The man was contained for a moment, but he couldn't get around the corner. He finally turned around and ran back the other way, and for a while he was pushing Big Strozier, the tackle, behind the line, swilling the left end and Parker, the left tackle. Finally let him have 2.5 yards exactly. Second down, 7.5. 12:46 to play. Georgia trailing 17-16. Peter Anderson up over the ball. Hockaday to the right and Lane to the left. Tech's in the 4-3. And Jackson handing off and driving is Henderson got about 4, I think, to the 44.
Henderson was brought down.
Hit the right guard, tried to lean to the right.
He doesn't walk good back to the huddle, by the way. In fact, he's limping. But they got 4. Third down, 3 or 3.5. Georgia on their own 44. Lane and Archie out to the left. Henderson still on the field. And he's hurt. You can really see it. 17-16 Tech. They pull the linebackers back an extra yard. Then they go to the tailback, and Tate drives to the 50 for a first down. He got 6 yards. They really work in the middle of that defensive line. They've really opened holes in the second half. Doug Sindebry, the junior linebacker out of Salt Lake City, Utah, hit him. Georgia's got a first down in the 50, and they're 1 point down.
I got Tate now for 100 yards on 13 carries.
Anderson has to come out. He tried, though. He threw 1 block, and he carried it once for 4. First down on the 50. They're in an I slot left, 1 wide out right. Henderson actually was blocking on 2 of those plays. Jackson acting like he may have audible. He runs to the fullback, McCluskey. 45-40 from behind. They pull him down to the 38. McCluskey came open. And from behind, somebody yanked at him. McCluskey got about a dozen or so. Crockett, the linebacker, and Pounds, they're overhitting.
Larry, the pounding continues by that Georgia offense. They've now run it 51 times for 318 yards.
Give him 11.5. It's inside the 39. They pitch it to Tate. He slipped on the wet turf and fell. They had a hole at the right tackle. McCluskey had to end enough out of there, and Tate was lucky to get a half a yard. Slipped on that turf and went down on the 32.5 or so. They haven't put it down yet. Now they wipe it. 2nd and 9 or 9.5. 11:06 to play. Tech leads 17-16. Georgia's really had the ball a long time in this second half and had the lead for a short stretch. A matter of, well, quite a few minutes, really, I believe. They go to the tail. Tate went at right tackle, jumped in the air over the 35. May have gone. Now you've got a field goal kicker that can kick it far enough due to the injuries. Tech comes up virtually in a 5. They're in a 4-4, but 2 of the backers are up a little close. Jackson back to throw. In trouble, looking to the right. Now down the middle. McCluskey, a circus catch. Circus catch. Now they say...
Oh, Sadowski had that ball and came down with it and dropped it.
Dropped it. He hit the ground with a circus catch, and it squirted out of his hands after he hit the ground. Yes, it had been called complete, and then it squirted out. Another piece of tough luck, and it's 4th down at 6.
They're going to try a field goal.
The Davis Jacobs going to try a 50-yarder? Yes. Yes, he is. Carpenter's going to hold it just outside the 40. Jacobs is going to try a long one. I guess he feels he's been in it enough now. His oil is warmed up. So they set it down, and he kicks it up. Going to be short, I believe. Yeah, in front of it, short. He felt he could do it. And that hurt. They went for a 50-yarder, missed it about 2 yards. So Tech still leads 17-16. Do you realize the amount of time we have spent in the vicinity of the Tech 30, 35, and 40 in the second half and eating up the yards and just can't get enough points? An old man injury is kicking us in the teeth pretty good, too. 10:06. Big slot right, 2 running backs. Dogs are almost in a 4-4. Now we come up to a 5. Tech's got a slot right, and they pitch it to the tail. And coming wide is King. One man spun him, and he got off, and then the next man got him. Black came up to get him. Little had him. John Little spun him around a couple of yards behind the line. He finally pulled away, and Flack came up and hit him. I can't believe we've marched this much in the second half and just can't get a lead. Oh, it was there for a while. Loran?
Well, these two teams on defense, Larry, are really fighting it out tooth and toenail. I can't remember a defensive battle quite like this. Georgia's moving the ball, but Tech plays just like Georgia tradition played. We've talked about that. Bend but don't break.
Tech flops the extra tight end over the right, and they go to 3 wideouts left, but in a little different alignment. 1 back, King. And Dewberry is running off to the left side now, looking, and throwing long, complete on his own 47 to the 49. Gary Lee, the guy who at the moment is trying to win the game with a 95-yard kickoff return. The gain was about 17 yards, just shy of the 49. Gary Moss had to hit him.
And number 19, John Little.
Tech's passing has been very accurate tonight. The Dogs haven't found theirs yet.
8 for 13, throwing the football for 76 yards now.
Tech one-man slotted a yard out to the left and a wide slot to the right. They're up there on their own 48.5. And Dewberry going to run a tailback draw, but they bumped into each other because somebody blitzed. Henry Harris came up the middle, and Malcolm King and Dewberry and Harris were all bumping. And he wound up back, I think, on the line of scrimmage, or did he lose a half a yard? He lost almost a yard at second 10.5. Tech leads 17-16. This is really something to see. 8:26. The fog settling down in heavy again, coming off the expressway, moving toward the west here into the stadium. Tech in an eye in a slot, and the linebacker Mannion again flops around, this time to the other side. Tech's second down, not quite 11, and Dewberry coming back. They rush him, and he dumps it off and deliberately throws it out of bounds by the Dog bench. Calvin Ruff had a strong rush on him. Check a flag down now. Flag on the line of scrimmage. Let's see now. Let's see. And a lot of pounds. It's going to be on George again. You can tell by the way the Tech players are acting. We've had so many call on us tonight, you can't believe it. It's just one of those things. It ain't the penalties that kills you, though. It's the injuries that have changed the complexion of this game so much. Penalty down to the 47. 8:05. Tech leading 17-16. Dogs called offside. Tech with a 1-point lead. Both teams trying to win their 8th of the year. 3 wideouts. Almost a long wing tee off to the right side. Dewberry takes a long count. Now he puts the running back in motion off to the left and hands to Kelsey, who broke a hole to the 40 to the 35, and he had to be shoved out by Moss down around the 30. They ran a trap. Nate Kelsey, a substitute fullback, and he got a good chunk of yards. From the 46 to the 32, he got 14, and Tech is knocking on the door for the first time in many quarters. Loran.
Yeah.
He ran into the fence, I believe. Let's see. There's a pile of people around him. Let's check a possible injury on the far side. He was really up and cranking when he was being shoved out, and the fence and the stands over there on that east side are very, very close. And the game is stopped at this moment. Is he the one that ran in? Louis Phillips has got the glasses on him, and so is Dick Payne.
Yeah, he's down over there, and Loran.
Go ahead.
Larry, I didn't hear you when you came to me earlier. I was trying to see what was happening, but he went all the way through, sliding on this AstroTurf into the chain link fence and ripped it up from where it was, went up under the fence. So he took a pretty tough spill, but looks like he's okay.
Nate Kelsey, a young freshman substitute fullback who had just made a great run. Tech now sitting only 32 yards away from getting some big clinching points. 8 minutes, 17-16. Dogs have driven and got the yards and just can't get enough points. Lee's long kickoff return at the moment has Tech out there, and the Dogs have been unable to throw it. Kelsey is still not off the field. He's having trouble walking.
Well, he was walking rather well at first, and now he is slowed down to. He's really in bad shape now.
You know, he's a third-string fullback, but he's played about 6-7 plays tonight, and he has some yards. Georgia Tech in black and gold. The Dogs are in white, gray, and red and black. Tech's only 32 yards away from adding to the lead. 8 minutes. Now they flop 2 tight ends over to the left side and leave a tackle lined up out on the right. And now they bring 1 tight end back in motion. And they go to the tail, and he leans in, and he got hit on the 30. And that's Corey Collier. Harris hit him. I'll tell you one thing, Henry Harris has had his head and his shoulder pads in a lot of them tonight. Gain was 3 to the 29. Boswell apparently had a partial piece of that tackle, too. 2nd and 7, Tech down there close. They don't have to worry, of course, about a crippled up field goal kicker if you're thinking about 3 more points. The trouble with 3 more points is it takes you away from doing anything with a field goal. Now they flop Massey around to the left side. They got a slot to the right. They put the other tight end in motion to that side, and Dewberry comes back, and they chase him behind the line, and he throws it and just misses a man on the 24, and that was Massey. Dogs had him 20 yards behind the line. John Little hitting him, and he got the pass off incomplete.
He got the pass off falling down, and when he threw the ball, you actually thought he was throwing it away, but he was trying to hit a receiver as Massey was coming across, and Massey had his hands on the balls. He went diving for it. So
Dewberry made a good play.
Yeah, you have to credit Dewberry with making what almost turned out to be a sensational play.
He missed by 1 second of being sacked, and I don't think he was trying to ground it. If he was, I'll tell you one thing, that tight end really made a dive and almost saved it. 3rd down, 7, and Tech's on the Dog 29 with a 1-point lead. Less than half a quarter to go. Dewberry, fairly long count. And Dewberry is coming back to throw a long one near the corner. He overthrew everybody, incomplete.
Great rush again by Georgia. Boy, they really came right down his throat.
Henry Williams. Well, they'll go for the field goal here. If they make it, they can have 4 points. Dogs have had so many drives, primarily in the 3rd quarter. You would have thought the touchdown was coming. And, of course, State exploded on one of them. Right up the middle for 15.
Henry Williams that time breathing rather heavily on John Dewberry as he could tell him about his breath.
About 9-10 yards behind the line. He knocked him down. David Bell to try a very crucial field goal for Georgia Tech. 4th down on the Dog 29. And they put it down, and the kick comes up. It looks long enough, all right. It is good. 20-16. Tech leads by 4. Timeout here. 60-second network.
7:05 left to play in the ball game. It is 20-16. Georgia Tech leading Georgia, and that field goal obviously changes the whole complexion of the Georgia thinking from here on out as the Dogs get set to receive the kick. Ball continues to roll. Every once in a while it clears up, and then now it's kind of coming in over the far end of the field off to our right, where Georgia's getting set to receive the kick. But this has been quite a game.
Tech will kick off. Thomas Palmer, Lane, and Tron Jackson deep. Tech's got a 4-point lead with 7 minutes and a few seconds to hang on to it. Palmer wanted to make sure it was set right on the tee. Went up and looked at it. This has been a great one to watch, I'll tell you that. He lines way up behind it, 13 yards, and kicks it long and deep. Not deep enough on the 9, Freddie Lane, who was right and up the middle and hit very hard on the 22. Couldn't open up a crease there. Tech just converged. Freddie Lane on a short kick could only get to the 22. Tech's got a man down, I believe. Tech has got a man down, and the clock will stop with that. 7:01 left to play. Georgia not in a deep position. And we're trying to put the glasses and see who the guy down is. Roof has been able to come back in, that linebacker. He is. Tech still has a man down on a kick return. 20-16.
The Georgia Tech
7:01.
Association would like to thank the following.
Georgia with 323 yards rushing the football, 17 passing. So the strategy in the second half has been to run that football, and they've done so rather successfully as they have completed only 1 out of 5 passes in the second half for 2 yards.
Still down, isn't
Yeah.
They're sitting there talking to him, and I think Curry's gone out there with him also. Now he's coming up.
Fogg is coming this way.
Sunderbury, the linebacker, inside linebacker, is hurt. He's coming up. I believe that's who it is.
We still have not heard anything on the Georgia basketball team. They're playing Miami, and by now they should have started since it's, 10-11. Last night they'd already been underway 10 minutes by now.
Yeah, you sure like those late games.
Oh, love it late.
I tell you what, I watched Michigan and Georgia Tech in basketball. It was a great thing to watch. Boy, you talk about two outfits with talent. All right, Sunderbury comes off. Gets a good hand, though technically the hand is because Mike Travis, a cornerback, a senior in Marietta, was asking for it. Wanted more out of the crowd. Georgia 78 yards away from it. They have to drive again, but they've driven so much in the half. And we run a pitch to Tate, and they come up and knock him down. No gain. He may have lost 4 or 5 inches. See, the fullback attack has probably really been damaged. Bat swelling over there, and Crockett, the bandit, as they call him there. And they wipe it and put it down on the 22, and it's 2nd and 10. Dogs ran an option pitch that time, which they have not been doing. Trying to do something different. Henderson's on the field. I don't think he can cut much, however, with the ankle, but he's back to try it again. Jackson sprinting to the right, firing, and it is complete on the 36, and they knock Herman Archie down right there. Off the offense, this is the final game for Anderson, Hockaday, Archie, Jackson, Quincy, and a snapper, Paul Messer, last regular season game. Off the defense, Black and Loy and Mitchell and Richardson, Sims, Waters, Willis, Mangrum, gone after this regular season one.
Henderson threw a nice block on that play to help Jackson get out on the corner before he let it fly with a pass.
Play got 13. And the tailback is eaten up trying to go to right tackle. Jackson gave it to Tate. Tate tried to go to right tackle. There's no hole there. They jammed it up. I'm guessing about what is happening here. They sense that we are changing our offense. We've been eating them up in the middle with a lot of fullback traps and draws. And I think Tech now figures we can't do it anymore because of the injuries. 2nd and 9. Yeah, we split the backs. We have 2 wideouts. Tech's in a 5-3. And we try to run a draw, and Henderson tripped up by one man on the 41. We got him at right tackle. On the carry, number 30. Guy reached down and tripped Jim Anderson, the linebacker, and Henderson was almost to that sideline. He had 15 or 20 for sure. I don't think the speed is there like it was. On the play, he got about 7, Loran.
Larry, was he wide open if he had made a move past the line there? That was an arm tackle. The guy just tripped him up with his hand. Otherwise, he had plenty of running room.
3rd and 4, and Tech loads a 7-man line. Little Jackson comes to the left. He's in trouble, and he's going to throw past Archie, who got out open, but he threw it way out of bounds on the left side. Herman stopped, seeing Jackson in trouble to the left. If he kept running, he had a touchdown down the side. Jackson finally got it off, but overthrew everybody, the defender and Archie. And this time they don't move, and that may be the first time in this half they haven't been able to move. However, we have had to change the attack that gained all that yardage in the 2nd and 3rd quarter.
Except for the 1 interception by Dewberry, Tech has not made any mistakes in this game either.
4th and 4, Carpenter in a kicking situation. Tech only 5 men on the line, and they'd like to set up a return. And he kicks it high, beautiful, long spiral. Fair catch taken on the 14 by Malden.
Fair catch, number 41.
Tech will put it in play there. Now, if they get a drive going, they've got it. 4:47. Timeout.
4:47 left to play in the football game, and a very big defensive series coming up for the Georgia Bulldogs. Tech is backed up deep, but the Dogs must hold at this point.
We're in a 5-3. We come up to a 6-2 because Ruff kneels down on the left corner a little. They put a man in motion. They go to the tail, and the Dogs hit him. He spins off Corey Collier. May have a yard. Henry Harris hit him first. It might be 2nd down and 9.5. Loran?
Larry, the tough thing about Georgia Tech this year, they don't make a lot of mistakes. Dewberry had the tipped interception early in the game, but they haven't fumbled. They play in good sound football, although Georgia's probably moved the ball better. Tech's been able to get more out of its game with that from the scoreboard with that long kickoff return.
Slot left, unbalanced right with 2 running backs. Dewberry on 2nd down, about 9.5, and breaking it out to the 21 came Malcolm King, the fullback. They ran a fullback trap. We ate him alive with that for almost 3 quarters. Mitchell, the linebacker, and Ruff, the end, hit him. It came out to the 21. And it'll be 3rd down and about 3.
Now a big play.
We haven't seen Worley back in the field in some time either.
Third down 3. Tech on their own 21. Haven't made a mistake all night. Now they threw a tipped interception early, and it didn't hurt him. Dewberry sneaking off to the left, coming wide, and he's going to get a first down to the 25 or 24. Anyway, very close. Henry Harris tackled the tailback behind the line. Didn't see Dewberry slip off to the right. Henry Williams came flying across, and little Greg Williams and Little came across. Boy, it's close to the 24. He got 3, but he might need an inch, or else he made it by an inch, and they're going to measure.
Georgia that time was showing blitz. They were trying to give him some things to think about as he was trying to call out the play and maybe audible at the line of scrimmage, and they were pretty well packed in, so he tried to slide out around the right side, and boy, here's the change being stretched out, Larry.
Close. They're looking. They're bending down and looking. They're still bending down and looking. They're bending down and looking. Both sides saying,
looks like Georgia held.
It's right on the Tech sidelines in the Tech bench, and
yep, Georgia held.
Georgia held maybe a half inch or so. It'll be 4th down and 1 inch on the 24. They lead by 4. They need a great punt. Dogs, as I've mentioned before, have had to change the attack since the injury struck.
Now Georgia has a great opportunity to get field position.
3:28.
Number 49, Mike Snow.
Very big punt here. You wouldn't think they'd gamble to try anything else. Quickly run Webster and Guthrie, the young linebackers, out and put Mitchell and Brantley back in. Yeah. 3 minutes and 28 seconds. 4th down and 1 inch, maybe an inch and a half. Tech on their own 24, just inside of it. Snow going to punt, standing on the 10. Snap a little low and gets it off. Beautiful kick. Little has to run to the right, then take a fair catch on his 43 or 4. Now is the air arm going to show up, I wonder? Timeout, 60-second local break. On the joint up to his left, and Henderson goes to the tackle and fights a yard and a half. Not a big hole over there. The Dogs ate him up. Primarily fullback, sometimes the tail, starting in the middle of the second quarter, all through the third. And then Worley went down and Henderson went down. Henderson's still in there trying to go. The gain was 2. Parker, the tackle on that side, played it very well. 2nd and 8. They split the backs. We're not lined up in the eye anymore. And now we charge offside. Sadowski, the tight end, jumped way offside on the right side. But again now, we're running different types of plays because the injuries have made us change our attack here. So, the procedure penalty should take it back in the vicinity of the 41. 2:52 left, Tech leading 20-16. But a tough game to watch when you know what's happening inside like this. 2nd and 13. Dogs on their own 41. Crowd chanting for the Black Watch defense. Jackson with the back split instead of the eye is coming back. Looking, and down the middle, and he missed Herman Archie coming across the 48. Overthrew him a little. And it'll be 3rd down and 13.
Depending on the play for Tech, number 8, Mike
Brown. A long yardage situation here, Larry.
Yes, they are. 3rd and 13. Boy, we came out in the third quarter and just gobbled it up and did it again and again. The 2 backs went down. You got to give Henderson credit. He's trying to play, but we're using a different alignment with the backs. Tech's in a 4-2. Jackson drops back to throw again, goes down the sideline and throws it way out of bounds. Hockaday was going down that side. He threw it 4 or 5 yards over him. They'll have to kick. And now the clock and everything is against them, of course, and it'll be 4th down and about 13. Dogs were virtually forced to change the offense with what happened on the field. On their 41, 4th down, 13. 20-16. Couldn't do what they'd done so well and gain all those yards tonight and had to throw it out the window. Bunter back on the 26-yard line. Tech going to try to set up a return. The snap is good. One man rushes. He kicks it high. Not overly deep. Fair catch call for him. Alden takes it on his knees around a 27 or 28. Tech now needs one first down, and that's what they need. 20-16. All they got to do is stick it on the ground. They haven't fumbled tonight or anything. Tate had a 54-yard run, but a fumble was part of that. Timeout. Pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Hear all the University of Georgia football games right here on WCHK AM, WCHK FM, Canton, Georgia.
Tech with 3 tight ends, no flankers or split ends. They're going to run it, and they crash and blitz. Corey Collier hit behind the line because Henry Harris, just a wild man coming up the middle, 2-3 yards behind the line, knocked down. 2:17 though. The clock, the scoreboard, and everything saying Georgia Tech. Ball back in the 24.5. Second down and about 13. 2:09. Loran.
Larry, the offense on the sideline is saying, give us one more chance. But if they do get the ball back, the clock's going to be a mighty tough pull.
1:58, clock running. Dewberry will take plenty of time. He's got it in his pocket now. All they have to do is not drop the ball. And Tech's right tackle just jumped way offside, came across the line of scrimmage, and then everybody moved after that. Clock stopped with 1:48.
Georgia had one of the strangest looking defensive alignments that time, as they only had one man on the right side as the Tech lined up. There was only one man over there, and they had about 6 people on the left side, as if they were just guessing you're going to run to your left. Had they run to the right, there was only one guy there to make a tackle.
108 seconds. 20-16. Tech leads by 4. They take a procedure penalty back to the 19.5. Jake Richardson comes back in. Kenny Sims out. Tech second down, long yardage, but the clock running again now, and they got the 4-point lead. Dogs are in a 6-2. Tech with all those tight ends in there. And they go to the fullback, and he got hit right there. Richardson crashed in and hit him a yard or 2 behind the line. Tech doesn't care. There's only 90 seconds now. They can run one more play, and if they get a decent punt, it's all over. Remember, the Dogs have been unable to throw, and again, when Worley and Henderson went down, it changed things. Worley never came back. Henderson has tried to come back, though we've had to use him in different ways. Ball in the 17, third down, long yardage. 21 to go. Now there's only 68 seconds. Just one of those tough luck nights with tons of adversity. We're in a 5-man front now, and Dewberry is sprinting off wide, coming around Calvin Ruff. In trouble, he slipped on the wet turf and went down on the far side of the field in the 13. Dogs need to call time. 49 seconds. Try to come out left. Timeout here. 30-second local boy. Are they eager to get to the kicker? Even Little Williams, that cornerback, is up in there trying to get in there. He got it off. One man almost got him. Little takes it on the 49, and they eat him up. They knock him back across the 50. 38 seconds now. Dogs have put it in play on their own 49.5. They got time for a couple of plays in here, and if it's incomplete passes, they got time for more than that. The last couple times of the ball, they did not line up in an I. They had to split the backs, and they'll do that again here. It's not much time now, 38 seconds. You can't do a screen or anything like that. Little Jackson back, looking, and crash, fumble that's rolling around, and Tech's got the ball, I think, on their own 49. Yes, they have. It's all over. They sacked him from behind. He never saw it. The fumble squirted across the 50 to the Tech 48 or 9, and they got the ball, and Tech has won it. They may have given up a ton of yardage and had a lot of holes ripped in the line for 2.5 quarters or so, but they wouldn't let that goal line get crossed. Tech now with 29 seconds can just fall on the ball and the game will end. Half of this stadium is just rocking with it now and completely delirious. And the Dogs have fumbled again. And Dewberry just falls in the ball to end it there. And Tech with a 4-point win. There's no time for play, though Georgia could call time and make them snap it again, and I guess they'll do that. 23 seconds, I'm sure they will. 20-16. A 95-yard kickoff run, and a funny combination of things that happened. Just a little tough luck. You're supposed to have some of that. I understand it. Boy, it really came home to roost here tonight. Lee's kickoff run, however, was a thing of beauty. Ball is set around the 47.5 or so. It'll be second down, about 11. Tech people are really delirious with this. They'll finish with 8 wins. It's hard to believe the Dogs took the line of scrimmage in the middle of the second quarter like that, and from that moment on, acted like they were unstoppable running up the middle. But boy, did it change when Worley and Henderson went down. Second and 11. Tech comes up to the line for the final play of the game, that we may be able to stop that clock one more time. No, I don't think we can. Georgia masses in, and Dewberry falls on it, and Henry Harris just literally trying to leap through there, and the game ends here. Tech has won it 20-16. Dogs will wind up 7-3-1. Tech will be 8-2-1. A good, tough ball game and a lot of thrills in it. And a lot of great defense played. And I'll say one thing, Tech really got tough from roughly around their 25 out to the 35-yard line or so in that second half. I know some things happened that aided the situation maybe, but that's where they would not let it bend enough. And of course, they probably didn't figure they had to worry about the field goal thing either. I don't know. Jacobs tried one long one, and he only settled it a yard or two in front of that bar. Tech a winner 20-16. Phil will be back after this 90-second network break on the Georgia Bulldog